Yeah.
What do you think, like, what's your thoughts on, like, why do people in South Africa,
hmm
like, hate, not hate, like, they hate that EFF supports, like, foreigners and stuff like that?
I believe it's a couple of things. I think maybe it's because the way the leader of the EFF, Julius Malema, has been going about it, the way he speaks about African unity, sometimes it comes across as if maybe he's defending illegal foreigners. But on the basis of his message, he's clearly trying to preach African unity, stop the hatred amongst each other as Africans. So, in the midst of all of these things happening in South Africa relating to illegal foreigners like crime,
Mm-hmm.
illegal immigration, open borders. So, instead of the government being the one blamed, they rather blame the EFF, I believe. But there's more to it.
And why so? Why do you think they only blame the EFF and not the government?
I think it's the easy target to blame the EFF. Sometimes it's hard to blame someone who's causing you problem.
Mm-hmm.
You rather
Blame.
something else. You rather
Mm-hmm.
create an excuse to not face or demand accountability from the person who's causing the real problems.
Okay.
So I think there's a little bit of cowardice also from the citizens of South Africa because they are not blaming the right people that need to be blamed. For instance, Home Affairs
Mm-hmm.
is in charge. The people in charge of Home Affairs is the DA. The Minister of Home Affairs is a DA minister.
Mm-hmm.
And Home Affairs by proxy it works with the border management authorities, things like that. And I don't know why they don't talk about building borders and closing the borders. They only talk about deporting people, but they don't talk about closing the
The
borders
borders.
or building more borders, you know?
Mm-hmm. And do you think I hear what you're saying?
hmm
Makes more sense. Like,
But is it fair, though, to blame the EFF?
no, I don't think it's fair to blame the EFF because, like, the EFF is not like the like first position is like Julius Malema is not like fully running the country.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, the president of South Africa is Cyril Ramaphosa. So I
hmm
feel like people should be looking at Cyril Ramaphosa more than Julius Malema because he's in charge of South Africa.
But Ramaphosa, people find it hard to blame Ramaphosa because he doesn't care.
And he doesn't say anything. Doesn't
Yeah,
respond. He
that's why
doesn't
they don't,
respond.
they don't, because
He doesn't entertain the
it doesn't take the country
yeah.
serious.
He
And
doesn't take the country
it
serious.
doesn't. And that's the reason why people don't hold him accountable because they know it won't work with him.
Mm.
You know,
Because even if like people point like fingers towards Ramaphosa, he doesn't say anything. He doesn't
it doesn't care.
say anything.
And he's the leader of the country.
Mm. So do you think like this whole thing is gonna ever end? Like this foreigner, the battle between foreigners and South Africans?
It's never gonna end because there's investment into funding this thing to happen.
Mm.
I don't know how to put it in simple terms, but there's people who have money, businesses, people have interest in this battle amongst black people. They fund it, they want it to continuously happen. And I'm not even trying to say South Africans are wrong
Mm-hmm.
because there's a part of this conversation where it makes sense, even for me, as someone who is critical and open minded,
Mm-hmm.
to see both sides, where I can realize, okay, my people in South Africa, they are saying crime is a big problem and most of the crime is done by foreigners.
Foreigners.
And I disagree with that, but I get why they would say that. There is foreigners who do crime
Mm-hmm.
and they get away with it because they're not documented.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's things like these illegal foreigners, they are saturating the hospitals. I get that a hospital end up being full, a clinic end up being
Yes,
full.
yes.
But the part I disconnect with is what is someone, a black lady, a black woman who's pregnant, needs emergency? So because she's a foreigner now, she should not, you know. And
That's
when you
very
raise these things,
unfair.
they say, you hate South Africa because you're raising things like this. But I'm like, I agree with you guys. It is true. There is plenty of foreigners, illegal foreigners, saturating our hospitals, making it hard for South Africans to get medicine easy. But there's issues like, what if a foreigner wants something emergency,
like being pregnant,
giving birth, or like emergency,
and it's operation,
should they not go there? You know, things like that. It's where there's a disconnect, because it seems like some South African people, they in the midst of this conversation, they have lost their humanity. It's like they don't care anymore. They're like, you're a foreigner, you can die or whatever. You know, it's like, oh, that's crazy.
And what do you have to say about that? Like the operation Tutula, having to go to like hospitals and schools and chasing foreigners.
It's a mess. It's a mess. It's a mess. And the way it's a mess, it goes back to the question, it won't stop.
No,
like why would it stop when there's Operation Tutula reinforcing all of these things? In a way, acting like they're doing something better for black people or black South Africans. But when you look at this thing holistically, just like maybe you're bringing back apartheid, you know, but this time around it's not Afrikaners against blacks, it's blacks on blacks. You know, yeah. It's like, yeah, it's tough, it's crazy.
And I don't like my thoughts. I don't support it. Like I don't support like what Operation Tutula is doing, like chasing, like going, especially like inside hospitals and stuff like that, like chasing foreigners and doing whatever they're doing. And I don't think it's a good thing. They should like let them be. Like they should chase foreigners that don't have documents, but don't like, they're always going after foreigners, but they're not going like after crime, you know, and things like that. It's always, I feel like they're just focusing on like I feel like there's bigger things they can focus on.
They're cowards. They're cowards, those people. Because, for instance, even now, they are complaining about hospitals, right? Saying hospitals is a big problem, foreigners are saturating, medicine is shorting. Okay, cool, we get that. But now it has been exposed that there is people who were getting tenders to rebuild hospitals like Tembisa Hospital, but those people, they stole 2 billion. You don't see Operation Tutula confronting those people demanding justice for a hospital. But you see Operation Tutula going to people who never even had money invested to build a hospital or to buy medicine. They don't approach. Why are they not approaching this guy who stole billions?
Because he has power. He has more power than them. And those people in hospitals, they don't have power.
So they're cowards. They're going for the most vulnerable. Why not go for the big boss?
Exactly. Why not go for the big boss?
Why not go for the big boss is being exposed? It's not like he's not being exposed. They're exposed. There's a guy who stole money for Tembisa Hospital. That's why Tembisa Hospital doesn't have medicine. Okay. We hear the foreigners, they're saturating is fine. But there is the guy who was supposed to buy medicine. He didn't buy it. You never see them going there. Never see them approaching them. Those people. Always black on black, going against Zimbabweans. They never go against like
the big dogs.
Yeah, you know, like Indian foreigners. There's plenty of Indians who are here in the country illegally. They never go against them. They never go against Chinese. They never go against white people like Europeans.
Do you think Indians and Europeans and Chinese, like, if they try to go against them, they maybe give them money behind closed doors?
Indians don't play. Indians are not scared of black people. Indians are not scared of black people. Europeans are not scared. You think Operation Tutula can intimidate Indians?
No.
Like, Indians almost run the country in a way because they're now running sponsor shops. So you think those guys are scared of Operation Tutula? Operation Tutula was busy toying to close sponsor shops. Indians are still running business today. Operation Tutula failed to close spaza shops. So do you think Indians are scared of those people?
Nah, I
They
don't
will
think
go
so.
for the harmless, the ones who are not even carrying anything. Umama othethe umntana, like taking a child to get medicine. They go for those people, the most vulnerable of the people.
Hey man,
It's
it's so
crazy.
sad, and he's like a black person
And
going
when black
against a
people,
black person.
fellow black people in South Africa, usually EFF and other parties, it's just that they focus more on the EFF. They're like, EFF is for foreigners. Why are you speaking like this? But it's like any sensible human being can speak like this and say, but it's not fair to go against pregnant women, you know.
And I feel like Julius Malema is the one that's like trying to fight for foreigners, but I don't think people are seeing it. Are they seeing it? I don't think people are seeing it like in a more positive way. They feel like Julius Malema is trying to bring foreigners, cause more corruption. You know, Julius Malema's name is like around corruption. Like he's not trying to better the country. Like other people say that.
Yeah, they say that, but how factual is it? You know, there's a lot of lies out here. There's a lot of lies. You know, there is Ramaphosa there. They're not doing anything. There's the guy with the blue Ferrari,
Blue cars.
blue Lamborghinis. He stole 2 billion. Nothing, but they're going for the EFF. The EFF, like, it's crazy.
It's crazy. It's a crazy world we live in.
It's a crazy world we live in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Crazy.
don't know what to say now.
Yeah, man. It's crazy. Imagine as a pregnant woman.
You are really feel sorry for
How do you feel as a woman when you hear that there's a group of South Africans busy stopping women, pregnant women, because they are somehow foreigners, they don't have South African IDs, they only have passports. There's a group of South Africans stopping those fellow black people from entering a hospital.
I feel like that's very unfair because first of all, you don't choose to be sick. You don't wake up the following day and be like, oh, I want to be sick. Let me go to the hospital, you know? Like no one in the world wants to be sick. Everybody wants to be healthy. So how I feel, I really don't support whatever they're doing. I think it's very unfair. They should let people go and seek medical assistance, whether they are foreigners or whatsoever. They have the right to seek medical assistance. And for pregnant women, like you don't know when is your time to give birth, you know? And it's a very painful thing when a mother is about to give birth and is being chased from the hospital. What was she supposed to do? Fly to her country?
Yeah, it's crazy. They say she must go to a private hospital. Now she has to pay.
But not everybody can afford like private hospitals.
Yeah, it's crazy. But when we say this, they say, you support foreigners. Imagine. By saying what you just said, they say you're not a patriotic South African, you support foreigners, you're not for South African. By just saying what you just said, imagine.
Some things are just about like humanity, you know, like not about even about foreigners and whatsoever.
Hence I said these things, they end up forcing our own South Africans to lose their humanity. Because like how dare someone in the same conversation, let's say you say something like that, and there's someone who's gonna speak to you and say, hi, we don't care. Lo mama loye akatetele ngaphandle. Like how dare you say that? And it's fellow women who say those things. They're like, she must just give birth in the gate because she doesn't like. How dare someone say that?
Such women,
you know, but it's the country we live in.
But it's the country we live in. Not everybody is like this. Not everybody like feels sorry for them. Other people are like, yeah, they must go because Tina, when we're in their countries, we also don't get medical assistance for free.
But it's not true. How many South Africans go travel? They don't travel that much. It's not like they've experienced how it feels to be in other countries.
Like some people be like, I think that's fair because I went to America or I went to whatever. I was like when I went to the public hospitals, I had to pay. So whatever operation Tutela is doing, it's a good thing. Like some arguments are that.
Yeah, but it is what it is, man. Yeah, I don't have anything else to say on this issue.
Yeah, I also don't have anything else to say. You guys can share your comments down below. Yeah, if you guys are gonna comment.
Yeah, thank you for having me out here on this beautiful channel, with this beautiful, gorgeous.
Don't start again.
Okay,
Don't start.
I will start. I will end. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you very much, guys, for watching up until the end, and catch me on my next video. Peace.
Danko.